start with a shocking statistic about unexplained deaths, or a provocative question about Adam the Woo's untimely demise. Adam the Woo was a creator who captured the curiosity of thousands of people around the world. Through his online videos, he invited viewers on journeys to places both ordinary and strange, showing everyday life and unusual corners of the world with a gentle curiosity that felt personal and engaging. Over the years, his community grew and grew, drawn by his enthusiasm, honesty, and unique perspective. So when news began to circulate that Adam's body had been found at his home, people everywhere were taken aback. His passing was shared widely across social platforms and fan spaces, and it touched many who had spent years following his work. For fans who felt like they knew him through video after video, this news was not just surprising, it was deeply emotional. One of the first things people noticed was how little concrete information was publicly available. There was no official report explaining what had happened, no clear answer about the circumstances surrounding his death. This lack of clarity left a space that was quickly filled with questions, theories, and heartfelt conversations among his audience. Some people looked back at his recent posts and videos for clues. There were discussions about tone, captions, and subtle emotional shifts in his work, things that, taken out of context, can seem meaningful or worrying. When someone shares their life with the world, viewers can unintentionally start reading between the lines in ways that might not reflect reality. In the absence of facts, speculation grows, especially when people are grieving and trying to make sense of something sad and unexpected. Others pointed out how connected Adam seemed to be with his audience. He often shared personal moments and reflections, making people feel like they were part of his world. That connection made the loss feel closer, more real. In online spaces dedicated to his work, tributes and favorite memories poured out. Fans reminisced about the episodes that made them laugh, the places they discovered through his lens, and the sense of companionship his presence provided. As more people shared their thoughts, the conversation began to shift toward broader topics, including the nature of online life and the pressures that come with being a public creator. Running a channel with regular content, staying engaged with fans, and maintaining a public image can demand a lot from anyone. While many people admired Adam for his passion and dedication, others wondered whether the demands of content creation might take a toll behind the scenes. At the same time, friends and fellow creators expressed their sorrow and support for each other. It became clear that beyond the screen, Adam had relationships and connections within the creative community. Their tributes were heartfelt, sharing stories of kindness, collaboration, and mutual respect. These reflections emphasized that he was more than just a creator, he was a person who touched the lives of others in real ways. In the midst of all this, a critical point of discussion became well-being. People began talking openly about mental health, the value of reaching out for support, and the importance of community. Rather than focusing on unfounded rumors, this conversation recognized that life can be complicated, and that everyone, creators and viewers alike, benefits from encouragement, understanding, and care. Many fans reiterated that, because there has been no clear official explanation about what happened, it's not helpful to assume specifics about the cause of Adam's passing. What matters most now is honoring his legacy respectfully and supporting the people and community who are grieving. At its core, the reaction to Adam's death reflects something meaningful about the modern online world. Even though the internet can feel distant and impersonal, it also creates spaces where people connect deeply through shared interests, emotions, and experiences. For many, Adam's videos were a source of comfort, excitement, discovery, and joy. They provided a sense of companionship, a reminder that someone out there was looking at the world with a sense of wonder similar to their own. Because of this connection, the news of his death resonated widely, not just as an event, but as a moment that brought people together. Fans collected memories, shared stories, and reminded one another of the ways his work had inspired them. In doing so, they built a virtual gathering of support and remembrance that echoed what Adam had always encouraged: curiosity, kindness, and appreciation for the world. The situation also sparked reflection about the complexity of life behind social media. When people share highlights, travel adventures, and exciting discoveries, it's easy for viewers to assume everything is always positive. Yet every person has a private world, thoughts, struggles, challenges that may not be visible online. Conversations in the wake of Adam's passing reminded many that supporting others, checking in on friends, and being attentive to the people around us are important acts of care. Grief, especially when it is unexpected and unresolved, often leads people to search for meaning. In the absence of official details about what happened, fans naturally searched for patterns or hints. Some found comfort in watching his earlier content again. Others created tribute montages, and many wrote messages of appreciation. These acts of remembrance created a shared space where people could express sadness, gratitude, and connection. Meanwhile, mental health advocates in the community used this moment to emphasize the value of seeking help and fostering support networks. They encouraged people to talk openly, to reach out if they were struggling, and to offer compassion to others. Rather than dwelling on speculation, the message shifted toward building understanding and resilience both for creators and for anyone experiencing challenges. In public spaces across the internet, people talked about what Adam had meant to them. Some mentioned how his explorations had inspired them to be more adventurous. Others shared how his calm, genuine presence provided a sense of comfort on difficult days. Many noted that he seemed to approach life with curiosity rather than judgment, inviting others to see the world with fresh eyes. What became apparent was that Adam's legacy extended beyond the videos he made. It lived on in the connections he helped nurture, the memories he created for others, and the conversations that his work inspired. Fans from around the world, many of whom had never met in person, came together in shared admiration and grief. They compiled playlists of his most memorable videos, shared stories of how his content had impacted their lives, and created fan art and written tributes. These gestures were not just about mourning, they were celebrations of the joy and inspiration he brought to many. Throughout all of this, the community displayed an admirable commitment to respect and empathy. Instead of spreading rumors or pushing sensational narratives, many chose to focus on kindness and remembrance. They acknowledged that uncertainty can be hard, that unanswered questions are difficult to sit with, but that empathy and compassion help carry people through shared loss. In many ways, the situation highlighted how meaningful online communities can be. Though separated by continents and cultures, people who shared an appreciation for Adam's work found connection and support in each other. They posted messages of comfort, shared memories, and reminded one another that loss, while personal, can be faced together. This collective response also rekindled conversations about the responsibilities of platforms, creators, and audiences. People spoke about how creators should feel supported in prioritizing rest, honesty about their own limits, and access to resources that promote well-being. At the same time, discussions emphasized that audiences can play a role by valuing the humanity of creators and recognizing that what is shared online is only part of a person's life. In reflecting on Adam's impact, it became clear that his work mattered in more ways than one. He didn't just capture forgotten places and hidden sites, he shared experiences that invited others to look at their own worlds with curiosity and openness. His perspective encouraged people to explore, to question, and to engage with life more fully. That inspiration is something that his community continues to carry forward, not just in tribute, but in everyday life. While uncertainty still surrounds what exactly happened leading up to his death, one thing is certain: the connection he fostered with his audience is real, significant, and enduring. People continue to cherish memories, share stories, and support one another. In doing so, his legacy is not just remembered, it lives on in the ways his work encouraged connection, curiosity, and community. It's important to acknowledge that mourning in a public space can be complicated. Fans felt many emotions: sadness, disbelief, nostalgia, and sometimes confusion. When someone who has been part of people's daily routine suddenly isn't there anymore, it can feel like a large gap. But within the outpouring of memories and support, there has also been warmth, gratitude, and a shared recognition of the positive experiences his work brought into people's lives. In the end, remembering Adam the Woo isn't just about acknowledging his passing, it's about celebrating the curiosity he embraced and the connections he helped form. It's about honoring the joy he shared, the moments he captured, and the ways he inspired others to explore both the world and their own sense of wonder. And it's about recognizing that in times of loss and uncertainty, communities can come together to support each other, hold space for emotion, and uplift one another with kindness and respect. Thanks for the watching and subscribe.